Ta-da! You guys, welcome. I'll give it a few minutes before the formal introduction because YouTube, especially the Paranormal channel, does have some advertisements. I do hope that you're joining us on Odyssey. Maybe you're downloading us online. Maybe you're checking out Subspace. I do hope you are. If not, definitely go to paranormalsarah.com. Follow along there. I'm in my jams. I spent the afternoon. It's been so hot lately that to take advantage of that hot weather and kind of work outside and wash things, power wash stuff, and things, just to kind of be out there getting in some of that sun, because I'm here in the northern of the wall, and that means that it's going to be snow and ice very soon. So I'm going to be out in it. I've got my tarot cards tonight because I don't have my co-host, right? Ruth, Steve, Mary, Matt, all of you. I think you hear my children. I think you hear some, either that or it's the ghost. I'm not sure. Hello. Either way, it's non-compliant. Anyway, point being, Matt, we need to kind of send maybe some positive energy his way. He is kind of responding to something going on in the family, like a family response of some kind. And I know that he, was going to try and make it, but couldn't. And so in my mind, I'm like thinking the best, projecting the best, manifesting the best. And I'm also not sure what he wants me to share. And I don't really have any more information than that. So we are going to kind of continue to move forward and send Matt some positive energy. So for those of you who usually join us here on Astrology and Alchemy with Paranormal Sarah and Matthew Slozer, this has been, years and years that we've done this show, a co-collaborative, co-hosted astrology podcast for an hour to discuss the week ahead. So it's a 7-day breakdown, but usually we do it on Tuesday. And now it's like Thursday. So we're already 2 days in, and I don't know how Venus retrograde has been affecting you, but Venus retrograde is a big time astrological shout out to, romantic stuff, kind of not having a lot of guidance, things kind of flying off the handle, being wild and weird, and stuff just being eclectic. There being a lot of diversity, a lot of things hitting you from left field, right field, like where? The upside down, things you didn't expect, things maybe you manifested, all those kind of things. Just a lot of stuff with no guidance, potentially 4 planets in retrograde that we just are like, our ancestors are looking up there like, oh shit, where's Aphrodite? And, putting out our sacrifices in hopes to getting some of those blessings, because where might she be? And I really love that, that we've got an opportunity for major change. It's Virgo season. Did you know? It is. Okay. So, in radio, we don't do dead air. And I am doing my very best to find, because you guys know that you can share it on social media, but somebody was asking me where they can find the podcast. And I'm in like my, I don't have any makeup on or any of that. So I don't really want to share it, but I will. I'll be gentle. Dang, do I really want to do that? Sure, I will. Why not? Anyway, so we're going to break it down as much as we can. God help us. Goodness gracious. There. So then I am able to at least share it on my social media. So I'm going to do a little bit of tarot reading, and I'm going to address the astrology this week. So please, if we have anybody else joining us, man, usually on Tuesday, right, we've got our whole group of people here. Thursday's a whole new crowd. So it's exciting. You guys, today, Thursday, the first quarter moon in Sagittarius, man, we had said in our prediction space that this is all about wavering. Go big or go home. Going big can help you make really big adjustments, like over the next week, especially as the moon is building towards kind of a really cool full moon. If you're like a witch or a farmer or a nurse, somebody working in social services, as Ruth says, if you're working around people, be aware of like this expansion and flexibility to get more done in the next week. You're going to kind of feeling that fire, wanting to get positive. More opportunities are going to definitely open up for you, for everybody, as long as you're open to it. And like, it makes you feel a little vulnerable, but you have to be optimistic. The shadow work, of course, is to do or not to do. Very Shakespearean. And it's a fire sign, Sagittarius. Man, my best friend is a Sagittarius. And those fire signs, those saucy fire signs, when the moon is doing that, I think a lot of our feelings and intuitions feel like we need to do something. But be careful. Why are you doing it? Right? Think a little bit about it. That Virgo is going to definitely be in your mind. Mars is in Virgo. What? Pluto, the planet. Is it a rock? Is it a planet? Is it a rock? Is it a planet? He doesn't know. We don't know. Science doesn't know. It doesn't matter. But it does matter because Pluto is life and death and like big life decision. So Mars is in Virgo, and that's trine Pluto in Capricorn. And that's a double over Earth sign. So you have Earth and Earth. That's like, throwing dirt in somebody's eyes. You're going to feel like you need to get more power over things and more control over things in your situation, but you're not going to have a whole really good view of it, especially with things in retrograde. So I feel like this is a really powerful time to think. Maybe don't do all the things. You're going to want to do all the things. Don't do all the things. Think about it first. Think just a little bit about it. Okay, so there's my tarot deck. I can deal that when the time comes. Now I can actually focus. So John had asked, what's the deal with the double earth? We're talking alchemy, right? If we're looking at all of the different signs and you're kind of adding up these different planets, but then you also have your birth chart. You can kind of see how you are, like a yin on a macro level, and then how the realm is, or how the constellations, how the astrology is, how stuff's going on out there. And if it aligns to very similar things to how you were when you were born, your body will have a little bit of deja vu, like chemically. And so you're going to start to feel like themes of comfort and things like that. Pluto and Capricorn, man, it's a hot August. It might be steamy date nights. It might be like, and I swear I wrote this a month ago. If you're in my Gypsy tribe, you get a copy of this document and so I am not bullshitting you. Like soulmate things, webs of people, intuition, connections, empathy. I also put that in the predictive space for like nationwide politics. So be aware of like allies and little whispers of people and branding and corporations and things like that we might be working with. So then that brings us to Friday. August 25th. I'm really excited because my birthday is coming. As an adult, I kind of feel like that's the only time you get good mail. Ugh. Someone really should have warned us about that. I really felt like becoming an adult, Steve, would have been, hi, Katie. Hi, Katie. That becoming an adult would have been, it is fun. It's fun, but the mail is not nearly as fun. And, birthday stuff. That's why I still send correspondence in the mail. So if you know me, you know that I collect stamps and like love to send mail and write in the ancient script of cursive. My UPS driver the other day didn't actually know that he couldn't verify my address. We had one of those like weird moments where he was like, does that look right? And I was like, sure does. What do you think? And he was like, well, I'm asking you. And I was like, well, you work here. Want to make sure you can read it. You're the one delivering it. Like handing something off to the Grim Reaper. You want to be like, we're going up or down. Like you want to make sure that you know where it's going. And it occurred to me in this like strange, awkward moment of silence that he couldn't read that I had written it in cursive. Suddenly my ego was like, I am a polyglot. I know numerous languages. I know Pig Latin. I can write in cursive. Hell, I can do moon water with lemons. But there we were. And I had to be like, there it is, such and such address to verify. So that's a dead art, a dying art. And that's just kind of a sad thing. Anyway, this is probably where I needed my co-host to distract me from that little tangent. But in that essence, reach out and don't touch people, but reach out and have faith. Reach out and touch faith. That's a song lyric too. Tonight and tomorrow. I have that in my musical. Reach out, touch faith. I believe that's Depeche Mode. yeah, that's the jam for tomorrow. And that's because Friday, August 25th, I usually put it in the chat room because I have somebody else yakking while I'm able to do the chat room. So I'll do both. Hi, chat. Hello, chat. And everybody watching there. My dad could do pig Latin. I never could. Oh, man. I ever nay udke, but I rigabili be like by subu burger kek belly by frag by check belly by stick by egg by speak by egg belly by bush bus. Double Dutch was like the way we did it in school. So there's kind of a few different fun things there. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, chat. The moon tomorrow. So this is for Friday. I don't know what you got planned for Friday. I got a few things planned, I think. God, I sure hope so. I do. We've got band things. We're learning new instruments in the household. We're doing all kinds of cool things. And tomorrow we're going to do some of that. And also, the moon will be waxing in Sagittarius again. Still. It's starting tonight. And it's going to kind of be finishing in that space. Trine Venus and Leo. Venus is retrograde right now. So that means we can't really see her. She's behind us. She's not in the line of sight in the sky. But the constellation of Leo is still lingering. You guys know what that is. That Leo the lion. You know, like somebody yanking the tail back there so it can do the in the front of the movie. It's ego. It's pride. And pride's really important to have pride in oneself. But it's also hard to have a lot of pride on an island by yourself. It's very much made by your company. And if you've got people around you being like, you know, whatever, that's not cool. You're not going to have a lot of love to celebrate because people are going to be shitting on your stuff. Don't do that to yourself. I think being able to put yourself in good company, just because we can't see Venus up there, that's often like, I think of Lilo and Stitch, like being lost, or like the ugly duckling. Instead, Leo the lion. There used to be a cartoon called Leo the lion. It was a white lion. And you have to be brave. You have to be courageous, and you have to be able to step forward, leader of the pack kind of thing, and move in that fire space. So there's fire stuff. That's going to be a lot of romance. It's going to be a lot of finance, stock stuff. Keep an eye on some of the stock things. You guys know I'm always kind of slipping some social media stuff into my other social media stuff. I'm trying to share things as much as I can. So follow along online if you're not already. There's only one thing happening on Saturday, unless we had some of our amateur astrologers that would usually be joining us on Tuesday. Bless them. All the gods and goddesses bless them. Because seriously, they help me and often are like, Sarah, that's not right. And the Virgo in me has come to really love constructive criticism and making sure that I'm absolutely right because I'm triple checked. Now I'm not triple checked, guys. I'm rolling on my own here. That's dangerous territory. Typing and thinking and talking. Who knows what might come out of my mouth. So Saturday, this is what's happening. I've got some wild things happening because it's my birthday weekend. And I think I might go into the metropolis where there are more people. And I might meet new cool people. And I don't know, the universe has been doing cool, weird, wild stuff in my life lately. Things that I'm really thankful for, and some like different perspective shifts and things like changes. And like, man, I hate to use the phrase like not natural disasters, but like earthquakes and changes, and not catastrophic, but like major, you know what I mean? Like kind of fire does to a farmer on their crops. Like it completely allows you to have something different and new, but it can be at times, I think, a little painful. And so in this space for Virgo, there's a lot of purging. There's like, a lot of getting rid of toxic things. There's a lot of shedding. There's a lot of trimming down. There's a lot of wanting to go outside and mow the lawn, prep. There's like nesting. It's that like Virgo jam, that nurturing. Chet is sharing in the chat room that today was brutal in the stock world. I know that there's some kind of weird, and Chet and I, we meet weekly to talk about some of those things. And we kind of talked about the up and down of the emotional spaces. I hope it worked out well for you, Chet. I'm always, is this how it happens? I'm always kind of secretly thinking Red Dawn when I hear things buzzing over. And then I'm reminded that I do live near somewhat, kind of, not really, but maybe close enough by a military space to like justify that. I don't know. Sure. I've been hearing a lot of that lately. So anyway, here we are. Saturday. The moon enters Capricorn. Do you know any Capricorns? Do you though, really? I do. It's a cardinal earth sign, guys. So, each sign has kind of like the Goldilocks zone, low, medium, high, or cold, warm, lukewarm, hot. You know what I mean? Beginning, middle, end, mother, maiden, crone, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the trifecta. This is important in that space of the Capricorn is the top, the spearhead, the cardinal, like the Aries, the Libra, and the Cancers. They're leading the pack for their alchemy space. And so Capricorns lead the way for Earth, for thoughts, for Archangel Uriel, for thinking, for discernment. Not really discernment, that's more air, but thinking and knowing for sure. Information, silent, cold, yin energy. It's very, very powerful for taking in new information. So that idea that by Saturday, we're going to be getting all this information. We're going to be getting some kind of cool stuff coming in our way. Responsibilities might be getting more attention, focus. You might be striving to handle things better. You might even be feeling a little overwhelmed with stuff, but just, breathe through it, eat some pickles, do the things, because breath work, air magic, that's a part of the discernment. If you know, and then you say, hey, are you sure? Did you think, or what do you think about? And then someone's like, yes, no, maybe so. Or because your company, you're good, wise, healthy, positive, but also capable of telling you that you smell. Company helps you discern. And Capricorns are really good at that, taking however much time they need to do that. So some of our feelings and emotions might be doing that as well. And don't get overwhelmed on Saturday at some of the cool, crazy, awesome things that may or may not will be happening in your life. Okay, then Sundays, August 27th. You guys, if you join me every week, usually me and Matt, or Matt and I, then usually you would know, man, stop using the word usually. Then you would know that we ask that you bring a piece of paper or chat with yourself or text with yourself, or just make a mental note of what is to be expected in the week ahead, because you can make predictions. So when people talk to me about strengthening their intuition, I mean, the absolute best way to do it, because we're all skeptics, right? And we should be questioning ourselves. That discernment is you make a prediction and you follow your intuition, and you're kind of asking yourself man, I know that things are going to line up this way. I know I'm going to be in third gear. I know the weather's going to be this way, as scripture might say. We can look to the east. We can look to the west. Why then do we not know the meaning of this present time, right? Or maybe even Hebrews 11:6, as Chet and I have been kind of working some scripture magic. There's some real discernment of just the now, the present. And Virgo wants to plan everything, but also you've been planning things. And you're a perfectionist, so you know exactly what you want. It's very, very powerful. And Sunday is my birthday. So early that morning, I might try and catch a market. That's one of my favorite things. Or maybe just a really good coffee. Maybe there's be rainstorms. I don't know. I would like to call on the rainstorms, not destructive, but powerful. And who knows? It's exciting. Mars enters Libra. So I need to put that in the chat room to Sunday. Boop. Okay, can I do all the things at once? Look at me. Could a depressed person do this? I don't think so. Anyway. Mars, I know, John, it is funny. Mars enters Libra on Sunday morning. And also on that piece of paper we would ask you to bring, that's active ADHD, we're circling back around, there would be 2 dots. 2 things happening on Sunday, astrologically speaking. Mars entering Libra is going to be your feelings. I always think of the Mel Gibson in Our Soul, right? Mars is the women go to Venus, men go to Mars. They're fighting each other over there. Mars is about fire. Mars is about passion. Mars is that standing on a hill with a kilt and football paint on your face going, whoa, relations in your life, people problems, getting attention, declarations. We call them declinations in my house, but energized positive energy that is just sparking out of your fingertips. You want to be using that. But Libra says, do it over here as well. Be balanced, be considerate, be moderating, be cooperative. Don't just smite them too. Like call on the things that you specifically want. Oh, Libra is an air sign, a cardinal air sign. So over the next few weeks, this is going to be like reach out to people, call on the things you want. Tell the universe, I want this. You know what I mean? Helpers, competition, who, what, when, where, why. Make love, not war. And you can with all this passion that you might have, like catalytic. Is that a word? We're going to make it one. Catalytic change that you want. Transformative change. That's a better word. That you want to be able to use that passion and fire, especially the Virgo saying like, level up, like Mario Brothers, like level up. Anyway, the thing that's going to happen on Sunday night. Can I do two things at once? Look at me. I might be. It's the juice. Guys, I made a bunch of juice this week. Special juice. This has got crab apples in it. We don't know if it has worms or not. If I suddenly start losing weight, I could be doing the old Renaissance trick. It's so good. I'm glad that. Are we hearing that? There's more helicopters. I don't know, guys. Okay. Sunday night, if you're still listening. The sun will be in Virgo. So that's the center of our galaxy, right? The sun. You are my sunshine. It's the reason you wake up in the morning. It also can you can burn yourself out. So be careful. Don't be like staring at the sun all the gosh darn time. It's important. You should be mindful of these things. You should be very excited about what's motivating you, but it's opposite. Saturn. I always think of, I don't love Beyonce. I really don't. I don't even really like her music, but don't say it too loudly. But Saturn, then if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. I always think about that because Saturn's very well known for its rings, right? Even though other planets have rings. And Saturn's in Pisces. And Saturn's kind of back there in a water sign. And guys, when we think about water, hot, medium, cool, the most mutable, mendable, moldable, I think of The Twistable, Turnable Man by Shel Silverstein. It's one of my favorites. But Pisces, it's adjustable, it's flexible. It's like I always think. So rules and regulations and boundaries are like, they're not even there. What? That's scary. That means that what you might have been doing, restrictions, limitations, boundaries, concerned with something in your life, mind you. We have these for a reason. We compartmentalize for a reason. You're going to need to work within limits. You're going to need to move the construction tape, find solutions. Gosh dang it, we don't have any more construction tape. Okay, somebody take their bra strap off. Like, put something there. Tell people they can or cannot. No more. We're not doing this anymore. Crossing the line. A lot of people will be crossing the line because the lines are moving. So you've got to be like capable of maybe declaring those lines moving. That would be the way to do it, especially because things are in retrograde. So this, in essence, many people aren't going to be communicating. People are going to be kind of ghosting people or shifting around and like not saying stuff. Well, meanwhile, like major change and stuff is happening. So then a week and a half from now when that retrograde returns and, things go a little bit more direct and people start reaching out and stuff actually starts, the ripple of the Grand Canyon comes back to you and you hear the news, you're like, what? It's going to be almost shocking if you haven't been paying attention, if you haven't been declaring things, if you haven't been communicating things actively. So it's kind of important that you do that. If you're in and around people that are doing that with you right now, it's a good sign. Okay. We only have 2 days left. So Monday, August 28th. Thank you. Is your name Daria? Might be one of the coolest names ever. Very pretty. Monday, I will be older. Maybe. I don't know. I try to I'm convinced I don't have to declare any age until after the next, step or milestone in like legal coupons, which is 55. So I'm 27 until I'm 55. That's how I do it. That's my math. Okay. Monday, the moon, still waxing, still growing. So this is a time that we're spitting on our seeds, right? And planting them. This is the time that you're watering things. This is the time that you're investing in things. This is the time that you're feeding things, you're nurturing things, they're growing. They're waxing. The energy, the tide, the magnetic force of nature is growing. Sherry, welcome. One of my favorite peeps popping in. I like seeing new people, old people, fun people. We had Sherry Break in here the other day. Love her. She's got a new trip in Ireland. She's doing a paranormal trip to Ireland. So if you are not familiar with Sherry Break, or maybe you've always wanted to go to Ireland and do paranormal investigating, check her out. She's fantastic. And then also April Slaughter, a good friend of mine. We're working on some stuff together. She is going to be at it's a conference with aliens and UFOs. And they're going to be talking about Skinwalker Ranch there, I'm pretty sure. So if you've been in that news, you want to check out April Slaughter and the stuff she's doing. Monday, back on track. The moon, waxing, enters Aquarius. I always want to sing the song. You can almost hear it, can't you? Yeah, you can. The moon is going to be waxing into Aquarius. So Aquarius, hot, medium, cold. I have to access it in my brain, right? You see my eyes going there to the side to kind of pull it, right? Because we're either going down or to the side if we're extracting something. We're looking up if we're making it up in the clouds. Aquarius, the middle of the air sign. So it is both anchored. It's unmoving. It's right there in the middle. It's the fulcrum. I always think of the fulcrum and a teeter-totter, that like if you're sitting in the middle, or maybe if you're, I don't know if it's a myth, Mythbusters, did we like put ourselves on a dying plane to see if sitting in the middle over the wings was the safest spot? I think so. But anyway, Aquarius is not really going to move. And that's about things that are discussed, things that are debated, arguments, things that you've said. Hey, I told you no. Things that you discussed this past weekend as boundaries were shifting. Or maybe you didn't because it's Mercury retrograde, but you were thinking it. And so you like telepathically said it, but you didn't really do it enough. So the person didn't really hear you anyway, but whatever. Social circles are going to be expanding. You're going to be having more people coming in. And so people naturally have to go out. People are going out. They're moving out. And you're growing. And you're giving more attention to you and more attention to friends and peers. And like the neurolinguistic programming there is what belongs to, who you belong to, who is your group, who are your people. They're going to feel more secure with groups and friends and people on Monday, August 28th, as the moon is entering into Aquarius. Allies and friends shifting. Who's in your pack? It's going to grow. It's going to alter a little bit. And Monday is going to be that shadow work. If those people are out there doing rituals or shadow work, who is in your pack? Who is in your coven? Who's in your space? Who's in your alchemy wheel? Who's in your archetype wheel? Who's in your, who's on your altar? It's going to be very relevant on Monday morning. Now, Monday night, put a dot on your piece of paper. Monday night. Look at, I can do things. People can do hard things. It's not that hard. But people can also do really easy things. Monday night, Uranus, or Uranus, as my kids might say, is retrograde. It has been for a while, but its retrograde begins in Taurus. Taurus. It's been in Taurus. So this retrograde of eclectic energy, dang, Uranus is always it's going to be moving backwards, by the way, for the rest of this year. So what happens on Monday night, kind of those processing post thoughts maybe that you are having, because it's Taurus, it's Earth, it's fulcrum Earth, it's the middle Earth, it's the not moving, stubborn, going to sit there like Ferdinand the Bull Earth. Traditional times of slow change, stagnation, frustration, maybe. But focus on what you already have, what you've already put together, kind of things that you've gained. There's a new year ahead, 5 months of raging against the machine vibe to ditch toxic cycles. It makes me think of like a Tool album, Seeking Liberty. This is going to be for the rest of the year, starting some of the things that are initiating on Monday. This ditching toxic cycles, it's very much like shedding your skin, where you're slamming yourself against a rock. And you're doing so because it's that resistance that you need. It's that tight spot that you shed your skin. That's how it is in life. That's how it is in creatures as well, which is why I like sitting and watching nature, is because it reminds us that it's not easy to crawl out of that darn cocoon. Man, I watch the darn little creatures do that, and I think, or the babies cracking out of that egg or birth. I mean, all of those big transitional spaces, it's not always beautiful and smooth and Seeking Liberty, and like Paul Revere and all the people before and after him, they came barreling down that path, screaming something with a little fear in their heart. And oftentimes that's what it's like, being pushed off the hill to do something different. So Monday night, we're going to feel a little bit of that as Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. And for the rest of the year, we start to initiate some major transitional change. What? You didn't think you were, you didn't think you've been through enough shit yet this year? It's okay. You kind of signed up for this one, though. I think for a lot of people, as long as you're following your intuitions, making good decisions, the momentum will be good. That, turning into a butterfly is in essence a good thing. I mean, you might really have liked to be able to scoot around like a little larvae, but it's just time. It's just time. And then the last Tuesday of August, dang, the month went by so quick. Tuesday. That's not how the song goes, but that's how it goes here. Tuesday. How good we're doing on time too. It's only 30 minutes. I'm going to be able to get off of here a little early, maybe slang some tarot cards. I've got a few readings to finish up for people. And then as I prepare for this weekend, I'm going to be freed up to do some additional readings, because I'm trying to make some money for, I think, back to school, but also like my birthday. I usually don't spend things on myself. That's not something that I do. But I would say that this year is learning how to say yes to things that I want, even though those ripples or those shifts might influence or affect other people in a way that I don't think is the best. If it's best for me, then that source needs to be taken care of. And so that's hard for a Virgo. I'm like, in my birth chart, there's so much Virgo, it just might as well be green, the whole darn thing. And that says a lot for just the organization of perfection. And that can be kind of exhausting. It's kind of heavy in that space. And so Tuesday, as August ends and Virgo season really kind of is, you're really knee deep at this point. We're going to see put it up there, Sarah. Moon will be waxing in Aquarius. It's waxing towards a full moon, guys. We're going to be seeing it very soon. So do not forget to tune in next week. It'll be Tuesday. Matt and I both will be here. Please do it, because we want to hear and share some of the full moon rituals that we'll be going to speak English, that we will be doing with a bunch of different denominations. I'm reaching out on behalf of the UAP Med and a few different policies and procedures around religious change and adjustment to some of the cool disclosures happening in government space. So kind of having my fingertips already with some of those religious leaders and like shamans and indigenous spiritual leaders. I like seeing how they're adjusting to some of this change. It's like an earth change, and getting their advice on it. So the end of August, anyway, focus, Sarah. Tuesday, the moon waxing in Aquarius, squaring off with Jupiter and Taurus. I love Jupiter. It's my favorite planet. I mean, aside from Earth, obviously. Thank you, Earth. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. But Jupiter is my favorite. The big gas giant. I liken him to Chris Farley. I taken it to like the ability to be fun and exciting and just balls to the wall. I see that man, because he's dead now, right? Rest in peace. That he's like barreling down Friday night. No, it wasn't. It was probably Jimmy Fallon. Who was it before then? I don't know. Jared Leto. Leno. And what show was it that he's barreling down in his underwear and he plops and it's like, anyway, I always visualize Jupiter as that way. Expansion. It's optimism. It's luck. It's like, woo! Hold on one second. Watch this. Oh, I thought it was going to answer live, but it didn't. Dang, that would have been a really fun opportunity. That's my friend. But squaring off with Jupiter and Taurus. Jupiter and Taurus, man, expanding in Earth. That means you're going to get more information. More information, even more information. But also time. Try to get some time off. Relax. Taurus is sniffing flowers when people are wanting him to be chasing the red flag, but don't. Just indulge. Sniff the flowers, man. If you have less to focus on, don't stress over anything strenuous or too crazy important. You don't need to do it. Tuesday is not the day. Tuesday is not the day. Tuesday, we want to feel how other people are doing, kind of reach out, hey, what's going on? We don't want to be dealing with too much of our own intergalactic craziness. Tuesday is a great day to take a nap, to take not a sick day if you don't need, but remember, we work to live, not the other way around. So Tuesday's a great day to just relax, get some tacos, put your feet up, and be grateful. Because Wednesday, I can't say too much because that's the initiation of next show and next month. It'll be September. So I've got to sit down and do my live streaming show. You guys know I usually do those on Sunday nights, the week before we start over a new month. And you'll hear me typing live, sharing my streaming thoughts and my narrative of the psychic process. It is a fun one, I think. Music, some of the predictions we make, we get the whole month going, and then I send it out to my Gypsy Tribe members a month in advance so you can prep and plan. And then every week, Matt and I kind of girth it up. We thicken it up like a gravy, put a little flour on it. We usually add things from the chat. We're able to add predictions and comments, things that you share on social media, through Subspace, through direct messaging, through Odyssey Radio, through all of the interaction that we get from our listeners and contributors. Let's get him a rinky dinky dink. So I did have a few people asking for a card tonight, so I don't want to disconnect without being able to pull a card for them. So if you're still hanging tight, that is the full week in astrology. That takes us to Tuesday. And then next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central, you will be able to join Matt and I live here on Astrology and Alchemy as per usual. But before we disconnect tonight, I'm hearing the voices. I hope you're hearing them too. Well, actually, I kind of don't hope you're hearing them. Right? I want to pull a card for Katie, who is listening. And I also have readings going out for both Katie and Samantha. You guys are my last two waiting, so I appreciate your patience on that. And Katie joining us. So that question, I don't know what it was. I don't know what your question was. And ideally, divination doesn't require that I do know that question. It really doesn't, because then I'm kind of giving you a cold reading and a little bit of bias, right? You can keep your question. The answer kind of comes through this, right? Through me giving you that. And this is the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands, halfway through, halfway point. Man, I always think of that one handful. It's a full handful, but it's not quite everything. You still do have a lot more work to do. And this is in essence about action. So it might be about a project that you're working on, or a new behavior, a new habit that you're initiating, a big change in your life. This is something that would have been started in May, and that change is now kind of just halfway to its point. Give yourself to the new year to really fully evaluate or decide if you're going to quit or celebrate, because there's still a lot of growth yet to be had in those actions and behaviors. So I hope that makes sense to whatever your question was. And then Adam had asked for me to pull a card. So Adam, thank you for your patience and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Oh, ooh. Oh, I always say like a kid watching firecrackers. Ooh. So this is always a great opportunity, by the way, guys. If you do get a reading from me, I send you an audio or video file, usually an audio file because then it's not too big. Sometimes a video file just because. And for you to be able to pause it right now. What is the card? Have a Bill Murray moment. What is it? What do you see? What do you sense? And to be able to stop that audio and actually, before I even say anything, even after I turn the card around, see what information you got, what you received. See what numbers and signs and symbols and colors and thoughts and feelings and all the things. What came to you? Because then if I blurt it out and then if I say things, then it's like you're getting that validation that you need. And that's that validation that helps your intuition grow. So, and no one can do it but you. No one can do it but you. So you got to do it. If you want to be psychic and cool, it's up to you. We all are. We all can be. But it's like, it's like playing the piano. It's just pressing the right keys at the right time. 4 of Cups. 4. 40%, one hand, but 4. And man, 4 is domestic. 4 is 4 corners. 4 is a square. 4 is peace at home, but also in the growths of what it is that you're doing in your foundation and in your structure. Like 4 beams, like you're building your house, like your carpenter. You've got your beams, you got your studs, and you're going to start with your 4 corners, northwest, south, and east. Man, south, northwest, east, west. Never eat soggy waffles. And Cups is about your intuition of relationships, about your connections, about it could be marriage. It can be relationships. It can just be home relationships. It can be family. It's going to be family. It's going to be family and paternal. It's going to be relationships in that way. So Adam, I hope that answers your question. Ruth, I give you permission. Thank you. Because much like vampirism or anything else spiritually, even in religion or if it's faith-based, it requires you to make an internal decision. It requires permission or acceptance for you to be able to have this reciprocation of stuff. It really does. If you're doing it against someone's will or like coercion or consent, it's not cool. Yucky. So don't do that. So giving me permission, Ruth, thank you. This is for my daughter, she says. Okay, so this is for Ruth's daughter. Man, this deck, it's the Del Toro deck. Some of the visuals are quite graphic and crazy and wild and weird, much like the art. Some of them are not. We're getting kind of calm cards. This is the 3 of Fire or 3 of Wands. 3 of Fire or 3 of Wands. 3, the trifecta, right? Like we said earlier, Mother, Maiden, Crone, or past, present, future, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The people in my household asking me if they can eat without trying to interrupt, but there we are. The 3 of Fire is that you might be very active in commanding a collaboration, a third wheel, a third presence, that ability to have hindsight of past, present, and future. But in actions and behaviors, this might be a mentorship. This might be I don't want to freeze, but man, intuition sometimes works that way, right? Where suddenly you have a thought or a vision that's definitely not mine. And it just is overwhelming and it's occurring to me. And so to kind of just declare that out in the open, that it's going to be work related. So this, I almost see someone standing up in front of a presentation or giving a presentation or a speech about something and being able to do that. And that after that happens, that there's a promotion or there's ability for you to stand above a crowd or above a group because you're really there by yourself with 5 or 6 people in and around a space. So I see this as a career or collaborative space where you're in a presentation, maybe even be an educational thing, but it's it's a positive thing and it's a growth thing. It's I'm seeing that thing again. So Ruth, I hope that makes sense for your daughter. And thank you so much for giving me permission. Because you guys, if you don't give me permission and I am not able to pull any cards, then those people that are lingering, maybe unsure, they've never seen a tarot card, they're not sure, what is that? What is this? I'm doing demons work. I'm really not. And to be able to pull and extract information from the world around you and help it guide you and discern things can be a really helpful tool, especially if you're struggling with anxiety or depression or just wanting to be more social or get constructive criticism from somebody and you can't be social. It allows you to work with yourself. So it can be a journaling tool. It can be a therapeutic tool, really a spiritual tool to get out of your own mind and gather information to think about that you may not have otherwise thought about. And I always appreciate doing it. if I'm just sitting there meditating or having my coffee, or like I'm going to go do right now, where I'm going to finish my juice and I'm going to call my best friend. I try and make time for her every single day to talk and connect and just not unleash or vent, because it's not that, but like, how was your day? What was your favorite part of today? Ooh, and just be able to talk up cool stuff and create and get exciting together. So I'm looking forward to coming to the cities this weekend. If you're someone who is in and around the Minneapolis area, please let me know. And maybe we can touch base. Ruth said she's getting ready to start a new job. Yes, she is. And I think it's going to be a good one. So that's exciting. That's so cool. I like it when I'm able to do these live and see the validation like right there. That's just super cool. So, okay. Again, if you guys want a reading for yourself, if you want to be like, hey, it's Sarah's birthday and I'll get a reading. Heck yeah, let's do it. Then I'm doing them. I'm just doing mini readings for 27 because 27 is my magic number and that's my birthday number. So if you'd like a 3-card reading, I'm also kind of attaching a musical element because oftentimes, and lately, especially as I'm meditating, I get a lot of music coming to me. Music is a big love language for me, and being able to share music and hear music and talk music and hear it when I'm out and about. I think it's really important to keep an open ear to music. It's definitely a family ancestry string for me. And so I'll be attaching a musical element to it as well. Just let me know. You can check out more of that at paranormalsarah.com. Otherwise, guys, I hope that you will take time next week to maybe share this, share it with a friend, tune in with me on Tuesday. Please send an extra thought, prayer, vibe, shake, shimmy to Matt, who is my co-host here on the show. We've worked together now for about 11 years. It's crazy to think that we've been doing astrology collaboration for that long. But he's also the host of Sunday Night Dad, and he does some amazing stuff in the paranormal realm, but he's also like a huge chemical engineer internationally and does some really amazing work in that realm as well. And he's a father to quadruplets as well as his 5th baby. And so a dad to 5. And that just seems like amazing to me that he still takes time for the podcast and for us to be able to do research together and to make time for the growth that we do by just being here and like talking about it and writing it down. And like, it helps my intuition, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. And thank you to Matt, who I do believe is listening. And I hope we can all send some positive energy his way. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope if it was your first time ever tuning in, I hope that you come back. It's not like most shows where we usually have a lot of talking and banter and definitely more streamlined thought because I'm able to organize it, but that's okay. I really also enjoy sometimes hogging the microphone for a full hour. That's weird, but here we are. So if you guys prefer to talk politics, weird conspiracy theory, and fun, weird, wild news headlines, join me for No Man's Land. It's on the same YouTube channel. I'm officially unbanned. I have been released from the virtual matrix jail. I was banned because I used the wrong word. I can't repeat it now, or I'll be banned again. But anyway, it's very exciting. And so I'll be talking a little bit more about some of the UAP med stuff that I'm working on and some of the research that I've got going on. And if you're interested in No Man's Land, I know some of my people who listened like every week, and we were going strong for like a few months, and then I got banned. It makes it hard to like have a podcast when that happens. It's okay. We're going to deal with it. But you can join me there if you would rather talk about some of that stuff, and definitely join us here if you're excited to talk about astrology and alchemy and paranormal coolness. So you guys, I will see you next Tuesday. If you don't have a wonderful weekend, shame on you, because it's my birthday. Celebrate a little bit for me, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you guys, and we'll see you then.